this is all going to be cut out, and that's fortunate because this is boring. Hello YouTube, Jared here. Welcome back to Games Done Slow and Bad. We play games slowly and often badly. Without further delay, let's jump back into Illusions of Gaia. When we last left off, we were in a diamond mine. We are attempting to free some slave miners from this diamond mine. The enemies here are a little different than what we've seen, and that's a nice little change up. These ropes above us will play a factor shortly. Alright, so we got these sort of lizard warriors. We got these sort of Medusa eyes. Or I guess reverse Medusa eyes, because when you look at them, they turn to stone. Let me see if I can get one of them to turn so I can illustrate this. Oh god! There you go, stone. So you go. So, when we last left off, we had gone through, I think it's, can't remember the name of the town at this moment, but we had gone through, and we did some terrible things. Frisia, that's it. So, in order to get this run to 100% completion, you have to make one of the most evil moves I've ever had to do in a video game for 100%. I had to actually turn someone into the slavers who were attempting to find them. Makes you feel a little bit dirty playing this game. But hey, we're going for 100%, and that's unfortunately what this game takes. So as we go through the mine, we're going to get more of these eyes. The enemies aren't going to get any different. I can't remember if there is even a boss to this level. Or if it's just sort of killing the mobs is sort of the boss. So, as we truck through here, I apologize for the quality of my voice. I am getting over some sort of cold, and I've basically been medicating with basically Dayquil and throat lozenges for basically the entire week. It's not been great. Alright, another heart. So with that, we almost fill up the entire first row of the bar. So as you can see, as you progress through this game, you do get a fairly high amount of health. And if we look here, no hair blowing. If we look here, hair blowing. Huh. Wonder what that means. Yeah, obviously it means we're going to go run into something. But we need to run into it as will to destroy the wall. Then we can change over to the Knight Freedan and tackle the next piece of this dungeon. So this game relies on this sort of switch mechanic quite a bit. Freedan! Which I am A-okay with. Playing as Freedan and a future form that, you know, obviously takes the other side of that screen were basically my favorite parts of this game. I love how unnecessary this was. So, he has a little power up. You remember this from when Will got his power, and I get a new power for Freedan. The Dark Friar is a ranged attack that allows me to... I'll get through... Yep. It's a ranged attack that allows me to throw an enemy, throw an energy bolt sort of thing at an enemy. This allows me to take out things that are on ledges that otherwise would be, I'd be unable to attack with Will. So this is a pretty big development in terms of game progression. You see when Freedan glows, he glows red. So you see it shoots just that one power up. This will change over time. This move evolves and it gets pretty freaking cool. Of all the individual powers in the game, this is probably my favorite. Alright, so once they knock out this wall, right, by beating that enemy, and my defense goes up, I am now able to do the same thing I've done in the other temples, and that's run up and down these ramps. There we go. There are people who are forced to work deep in the diamond mine. Use this key. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. So we've got the elevator key. This will allow us to progress further into the dungeon. This set of rooms is all about them keys. I'm just trying to think if... I think I gotta go back exactly the way I came. This level has a couple of neat little things. These ropes get used later on. And you actually do sort of use the skyway in this level, which is sort of neat. Yeah, it's different. Anytime you use a sort of mechanic like sprites over sprites, that's pretty cool. It's not the same thing you see in every RPG, so it's kind of a nice change up. Alright, so... Where do? I think it was over here. Yep. Is there a quick way down? I think not. Oh, yep, perfect. This game did Skyrim doors before Skyrim doors were a thing. Okay. Yeah, you gotta love game development when they actually think like, gee, no one wants to walk back that way. Here we go. Pretty neat, right? So that's the sprite set for the level we were on below, and these are the ropes above us, and we're now using that to sort of traverse the level. Yeah, Skyrim doors are one of those things that you become, you know, sort of spoiled with over time. You know, in modern games, it's sort of like an expectation, right, that you're going to get a Skyrim door. In older games, it's hit or miss. You never know if you are going to get a Skyrim door. You hope that the developers realize that no one was playing their game to walk backwards through the level, but, you know, it's not always the case. We're going to use Dark Friar pretty much because I want to. Alright, so we got another enemy in here. So where is he? There he is. There we go. Alright, so if memory serves, I think it's like one of these skeletons has a key. Though maybe not? This is another, like, look for the blowing hair thing. Okay, let's head to the other room. If it is a find the skeleton that has the key, I'm sure there's probably a hint. Missed him. Yeah! Oh, that's so satisfying, especially on this level. Because these guys have a pretty good range. These things have an obnoxious range. And to be able to hit them and do some serious damage is nice from a distance. Alright, so you might be saying, hey, what's going on here? You just gotta power, use it. If you want your gem for your power-up, you gotta use it. There we go, doubled up. And the health bar up top is now almost full. Alright, we got another key. I love and hate the sound of getting a special item in this game. Early on, it really makes it feel like you've accomplished something, but when you're getting a freaking key, it just feels like they're overusing it a little bit. You know, it's sort of like the animation in Ocarina of Time, right? That's the one I can compare it to best. When you have to look at every single chest you open... Oh, both keys. Okay, so definitely another key. And that's not this, right? Nope, that's for Edward's Castle. Ocarina of Time, when you throw open the big chest, right? You know, it makes a big freaking deal about it, and oh, look, you got whatever the item is! If they did that every time, it would just get lame. Okay, there we go. I knew that there would be a body with the key. Not really much in the way of indicators for that, so hey, what are you gonna do? Alright, yep, click, key opens. This is when you know you've sort of made it to the end point of the level. Here were the guys from the labor market earlier in the level. What are you gonna say? Sam, thank you. I heard from Eric that your friend has lost his memory. Song that brings back the past. So, again, we're back to audio cues. You've learned the memory melody. I need a favor. May I have the prison key and the melody of the wind as a souvenir of our meeting? I'm sure I'll never use it again. Thank you. Our home village far across the ocean. Regain their strength. Yep. Turn to stone sick with the disease. Never forget you. Okay, so that pretty much accomplishes what we set out to do in this level. There's not a Skyrim door per se for this one, but because you hit the first elevator, it's right next to the entrance, you're pretty much there. Yeah, so one thing about this game is you cannot argue that the audio quality is really top-notch. The dungeons, yeah, they have a pretty similar common thread in terms of the music, but they incorporate a lot of other music into the game, and it's nice. Remembering that the cartridges had limited space, and everything that you were doing with sound meant, you know, fewer sprites you could code in. It's sort of a nice touch to have the extra music. Phrygia. There we go. So I'm going to make sure that my jewel count matches up before we leave here. That's probably the first thing I'll do. Not to be panicky about these jewels, because there's really nothing I can do about it if I've missed one. Except that I'm going to off-camera run back through the entire freaking game to this point and get them. 17. 17, 17, 17. And I'll check my cheat sheet. Yes. 18 is for the next level. Perfect. Alright, so we've done everything we need to do here. We have beat the dungeon where we freed the laborers. And let's see what everyone has to say. I think Lance should stay here until he recovers. Meanwhile, it's good to be among friends. Yep, so really nothing has changed with these dialogues. So we are going to kick in the memory melody. I love this scene. So this song is supposed to help Lance remember who he is. But the added effect is everyone who hears it, you know, basically gets a recap of their life. Which, if you think about it, could be good or bad, because there's plenty of bad things that happen in our life. So, we get a little bit of character development. trying to make Kara seem like less of a jerk, trying to give some backstory on Lance. Alright, now we are going to get some new dialogue. Lance now remembers who he is! Yay! Mission accomplished. Lance, your memory is back! What's wrong? You're crying. I've experienced much of my travels. Well, there's an eccentric inventor in the woods nearby. Shall we go? I think his name is Neil. Did you say Neil? That's the same name as my lost cousin. Wow! My cousin Neil, the inventor, flew in the sky in a thing called an airplane. Everyone's like, Jesus Christ, well. Jesus Christ, well. What is wrong with you? If you actually think about the scale of the map, we've walked like 300-400 miles to get to Neil's cottage. So I wouldn't say right nearby. Oh, Will, you've gotten strong. I don't know why you'd know that. Are all these people your friends? This person stinks. Thank you, Kara. You know, it was like 15 minutes in this Let's Play since you said something shitty. What are you saying? You shouldn't talk like that. Hey, both of you. Both of you talk pretty harshly. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, we're in a freaking weirdo's house. And again, she says something terrible. Make yourself at home. You're Will's friends. Welcome. Which is like passive-aggressive in tone, I feel. Because he's sort of like, yeah, just, you're Will's friends. I'll accept you, but you're annoying. Yep, 3 weeks. Seth will be pleased when he sees this invention. What invention? This teapot? This teapot. He'll be impressed by this teapot? Idiot. Can I even talk to the others? Yep. No. No. Okay, no. I can't leave. So we can look at his invention. That's an oxygen tank. There's air inside. With this, you can breathe underwater, but there's only 1 minute's worth of air inside. Compressing the air would let you stand underwater longer, but I don't know how to do it. Those are airplane wings. It's part of a machine that will fulfill man's dream of flying in the air like a bird. Oh, you crazy bastard. The body's too big, and you need a runway to take off, so it's hidden in the desert. Okay. That's a telescope. You can see stars as if they were in your hand. That's a camera. It'll burn a copy of a scene onto printing paper. The problem is that it takes almost 30 minutes. Scenery doesn't move, but to photograph a person means they can't move for 30 minutes. When I used it, the eyes turn bright red like a rabbit's. Okay, let's keep this going. Why'd you come to see me? Interesting. I, too, have some interest in ruins. Scattered all over the world, they have something in common. Drawing a line among the ruins makes a shape that looks like the constellation of Cygnus. Cygnus? That's the Tower of Babel where Will's father got lost. It's in the middle of the ground painting of the big white bird. There's a new red star below the constellation of Cygnus. That's right, you know a lot. The red star in Cygnus, Will's interest in the ruins. Different elements are bound together organically. Oh, God. Go? Yeah, let's follow the freaking crazy person into the desert. The Nazca Desert. So this is actually probably the place I want to visit most in the world, the Nazca Lines. You would think they'd be near the Incan ruins, because that would actually make sense. from a world map perspective, but they are tremendously disconnected, and it's a little silly. There's also a piece of this that we're going to get into in a minute that, when we go through it, does not make much sense. So this is the Nazca Plain. It was a long way, did a good job. This is the most famous of the ground paintings, the Condor. Have you heard of it? No one knows why the ancient people drew pictures like this. Whenever I come here, I'm overwhelmed by this grand scale. You should go see it for yourself. Alright, so, Nazca lines. Nazca lines in real life are massive paintings in the middle of I think it's a salt flat desert. There are various forms in the desert. They are ornate in nature, sort of like this, you know. And on the ground, it simply looks like, you know, sort of lines intelligently placed in the sand. But from overhead, they form these grand pictures. So this one is a grand picture of a bird, a condor. So this is one of the places in the world that I dream to visit someday. Let's kick this off because something really cool is going to happen in a few moments. When you look at it this way, it's like the white lines at an athletic event. Oh, Kara, you're so hopeless. Alright, so you gotta talk to everyone independently, and they'll say something about the lines, about the rocks, about the blah blah blah. This is the condor's stomach. If you dig here, you might find eggs. It's a joke. Laughs. Don't be so serious. Well, a lot of serious things are happening. Doesn't there seem to be a pattern in the way the rocks are scattered around? Sure, yeah, crazy freaking people. All I've done is go to school, study, and play. Sometimes I wonder if my being here isn't all a dream. Okay, this is not helpful. Haha, don't be in such a hurry, wait for everyone else. It's scary, I'll stay with Neil. Alright. I've talked to everyone. Yeah, I've talked to everyone. It's been great. How do I advance? Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we got the ghost. The ghost. The ghost. Coo. Yep. The ghost is going to show me ish the way, I think. Or he'll trigger the event that moves everyone. Yep. I think that's it. This is almost a blind Let's Play at this point, because I can remember the first part of this game. Do I not fit in there? This is baffling. There's clearly a space for me. Huh. We'll talk about it when everyone comes back. The mystic statue that Will spoke of is somewhere on this plane. I thought I'd seen this painting before. Look like Cygnus. Yep. Look where the rocks are on the ground. They're positioned like the stars in the constellation. 9 stars, there are 9 stones. Where's the red star? Sure. Yeah, that. Yeah, I was over here a minute ago. I could remember at this. I thought this. Nope. This one. Okay. Tile buried in the sand. When the flute touches it, there's a rumble. And we go to one of my favorite parts about this game. Well, yeah. Welcome to the Sky Garden. One of the coolest levels. There's a strange garden floating in the sky over Nazca. On the ground, Neil and my friends look like tiny ants going back and forth. Could the paintings be an airport for the Sky Garden? Okay, so this is supposed to be the Hanging Gardens of, is it Babylon? I believe that's it. something that scientists go back and forth on, historians go back and forth on its actual existence, or if it was imagined, or I guess exaggerated. So this level has a really cool feature where you actually go to both the top and the bottom side of each. So let's talk to some of these guys. Moon Tribe, we meet again, Kukuku. You're a strong boy to have come this far. The Sky Garden is our mode of transportation. There are 4 crystal balls in 4 locations. Find each one in clockwise order. Drop off the cliff at the front and back to find the upside down world. That's what I was sort of talking about a second ago. Okay, so the actual level itself is really cool. The enemies are pretty cool, if not a little bit annoying. So these guys, when they die, blow apart and essentially become grenades, which is in and of itself pretty cool. These crystal guys are probably my favorite sprite in the game. I just think they look so freaking cool. They are basically laser turrets that also shoot their hands as a rocket, although they get to do it again, because apparently they can grow new hands. Every part of this is just so freaking cool. I love the colors. I love the blue against the green. I love sort of the bronzish, I guess it's bronze looking architecture. Every part of this level is just so aesthetically pleasing to me. Love it. So our goal here is to get the first of those circular gems that we need, that the Moon Tribe guy talked about. We're also going to obviously clear out the enemies because we want all the power-ups. Not just some of the power-ups, all the power-ups. Alright. We found a red jewel. So, for those keeping track at home, by the time we leave here, Sky Garden, we want to have 19 red gems. So, this one not hard to find. There is another one that we need to find to get our 19 before leaving here. And trust me on this, we will be rewarded. And by rewarded, I mean punished thoroughly for getting them. Okay, so this is the most mind-boggling part of this level. As a child, I was just super confused. We're now in the back side of the garden. See, the color palette inverts. It's still quite striking. The enemies still have similar attacks. Although now, instead of blasting off into the sunset, their arms come back to them, which actually makes them more dangerous, because fundamentally they now have a boomerang. So, what's striking about this? Well, one, the enemies are pretty neat. I mean, they're not, like, mind-bogglingly cool, but the fact that they sort of blow apart is unique. It doesn't happen in any other levels in this game. That's kind of neat. Two, the visuals are pretty sweet. Oh, this guy's awesome. So, this enemy is not the guy in the armor. It is the sword itself. Once you defeat the sword, you're able to pull the armor away, which to me is just so cool. So we found the crystal ball. We are not done in this area yet, though, because we are going to KO as many enemies as we can, because we want all the power-ups. So each side counts as its own, I guess, room for the purposes of getting power-ups. We're going to get our power-up. We're going to get to the central room. We'll drop this crystal ball in, and then we'll go from there. So this really is, if you actually put it on a map, the opposite of the overworld, which is sort of neat. It's a nice little detail. So when you jump down, you are looking at the actual mirror of what you were looking at before. Just a little tidbit. I find it cool. Nice little piece of level design. it conceptually reminds me of A Link Between Worlds, sort of the concept of having to think about the map a little bit differently. Obviously, not in the same scale as that, but, you know. It is asking you to think about things a little bit differently. If you're trying to get to that platform, it's not as simple as just run to the platform. If you have to go into the underworld, you have to work in the opposite direction, really, to get to where you want to go. There we go. And there's our defense up. Oh, that is so good. We are so set. By the time you leave this area, 1, you face a pretty awesome boss. And 2, you are stacked on power-ups. Now, obviously, as I said before, you don't have to get the power-ups. But this boss is not, it's not the hardest boss, but it's also not the easiest boss. Okay. So, like a lot of other parts of this game, let's throw this into the sky. Gem the Jeweler will get that momentarily. We have a crystal ball, we have a hole. Boom, slot it in, and that causes the panel to move. And with that, we are just about at time. So, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the video. Comment below with feedback. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to the channel, hit us up on Twitter at games_done_slow. Read all the feedback, and if we're doing something that you think we could do better, let us know, and we'll take it under advisement. You have a lot of choices when it comes to Let's Plays. Thank you for making this your choice tonight. Thank you, and have a good night.